أعزائي الطلاب السلام عليكم. I choose for you اخترت لكم chapter 7 to be SQL structured query language. Why? Because some of you or most of you اللي فهمتوا إنه they didn't take اللي هو اللاب with the class. So talking about SQL اللي هو structured query language في database, how to create constraints, how to create tables, how to define the domains, and how. So we need to, this will be the expression of everything theory we talked about. How to convert relation a table, how to make اللي هو keys, how using a real programming language اللي هي structured query language 99. Okay, this is done by Professor Sulaiman Bani Ahmed, and we start our chapter which will talk about how can we define our data in our database, how to define the constraints and the schema and all these things, how we use to create and drop and alter the description of the table. The tables الآن it was relations for relational schema. When you start the SQL, you start talking about table. So let's just remember, we start with requirements, gathering requirements, business rules, mini word. Then we extracted the ER diagram. Then the ER diagram, we start mapping the ER diagram into relational schema model. Now when we map it to relations, how to create it as tables في database, and how to apply the constraints, the domain constraint, the entity constraint, the key constraints using the SQL language. This will be our subject. So now, after this chapter, we will have a complete understanding of how to start with creating database requirements, ER diagram, ER diagram, enhanced ER diagram, then mapping, then SQL. Remember that we didn't explain everything. The class always, any class, any course, it's your step, and you have to continue. There's a lot of things with database we didn't go through because we didn't have enough time. For example, normalization rules, a lot of things that we didn't go through, and there is a lot of complicated database, object-oriented database, image, and all these things. But let's just work on what we خلينا نشتغل على الاشياء اللي اخذناها لحد الان وهاو to express it, يعني how to work with Oracle and Access and create these relations اللي عملنا لهم mapping في الشابتر الماضي. اوكي، فكل شابتر بيكمل اللي قبله، ولان هذا الشابتر هو ايش express everything في SQL language. So let's start. For example, how to create a table. A table is the relation after mapping. It was an entity عملنا لها mapping لريليشن، والآن بدنا نعملها ايش؟ create a table. So we specify a new base relation by giving it a name. طبعا النيم بيكون هو نفسه اسم الريليشن في relational model usually. And we have to specify كل الاتريبيوتس تبعونها والداتا تايبس تبعونهم. الداتا تايبس ممكن يكونوا انتجر، وانتم طبعا كلكم عارفين ايش هو الانتجر، ايش هو الفلوت، ايش هو الديسيمال، اي جي اللي هو من الى، الكاركتر اللي هو ايش اللينك تبعه كم بيكون، الفار كاركتر المتغير يعني ممكن يكون من الى maximum n. Okay, and how to specify constraint not null. For example, we have constraint not null, which is a key constraint. You can't specify a value of a key انها تكون ايش قيمه تبعتها null. عشان هيك when you design the database now using the SQL, you put this constraint not null. So let's see the SQL statement. Create table. So now from the relation department. So we use this syntax. Create table department وبنفتح هنا parenthesis، وهنبلش في هون ايش في الاتريبيوتس تبعون هدول ايش تبعون اللي هي ريليشن ديبارتمنت اللي عملنا لهم مابينج. اول شيء ايش الدي نيم اللي هي ديبارتمنت نيم سميناها دي نيم. وبعدين ايش هو الداتا تايب تبعها راح يكون var of 10، يعني راح يكون ايش كاركتر من الى 10 كاركترز. وهون ايش بيجينا not null constraint not null، يعني الديبارتمنت نيم ممنوع ندخله التبل القيمه تبعته تكون ايش null. اوكي بعدين ايش بنحط هنا ايش كوما، بنبلش في ايش بالثاني اللي هو ايش الاتريبيوت رقم 2 اللي هو الدي نمبر، والدي نمبر تتذكر اللي هو ايش بيكون كي. فاذا ايش التايب تبعه انتجر ولازم ما يكونش ايش null not all it's a constraint a key constraint. and we go to اللي هو الام جي ار اس اس ان اللي هو هذا ايش اللي هو الاتريبيوت اللي بيحكي لنا مين هو اللي هو المانجر سوشيال سيكيورتي نمبر للمانجر. So here we have الديبارت نيم ديبارت نمبر المانجر سوشيال سيكيورتي نمبر والمانجر ستارت ديت. الداتا تايب تبعهم should be declared which is character 9. And remember that the manager social security number, this is a foreign key because this is the social security number in the employee, for example, department. So which employee is the manager of this department? Is this MGRSSN, okay? So this is a foreign key. And the manager start date character 9. So if this will take us to the ER diagram, we have a relation between the department between the employee, which is managed by. Managed by it's one-to-one relationship. So we put a foreign key here for the social security number of the employee who managing this department. So when you insert a tuple into this in the department, you should make sure that in the employee relation you have the same social security number exists, because the foreign key, this is differential integrity. The foreign key should or must reference existing a primary key في relation employee. Okay, and we end our creating table with اللي هي right parenthesis. So this is how to create a table with constraint not null, okay, and data types, and these all data types. So we create the table and we can insert tables on it. So here we can create another table, or to be clear here for creating the department table department, for creating table department name, which is varchar 10 of 10 characters maximum, not null constraint, d number because it's a key, so it's not null and type integer, comma, then manager mr ssn and start date, and here you can add primary key d number to indicate that the d number is the primary key for this table, comma, unique d name. So you can here specify another constraint, which is the uniqueness. There is no two departments with the same name, so the name is unique. So you can't insert any table with the same name. It should be different name. Foreign key, here you specify explicitly the foreign key MG manager SSN references الemployee. طبعا ايش بيكون اسمه في الامبلويي اللي هو السوشيال سيكيورتي نمبر or whatever the name of the primary key. Okay, so this is the attributes can be specified with primary key and uniqueness phrases in this اللي هو SQL tool. Okay, in the SQL tool. But it's understood from here. You can just create this table with this in this way, And so it's understood because you made everything and you know that this is a foreign key and it should reference an existing key, or you can specify explicitly by this way. Okay, create table. So the create table, the syntax is we use the keyword في SQL create and table, and you have to specify the name of the table. Of course, it should be unique. You can't specify the same name more than one time. And the column 1, which is the attribute, which data type. The column 2, attribute to the data type. Column 3, data type, and so on. For example, and semicolon and then. Example, create table persons. And then we have here persons relation. It was a relation, it was an entity or relationship maybe. And now it says table. So we have person ID of type integer, last name var character up to 255. So you don't have to specify 255 characters, but you can specify variable characters up to maximum 255. The first name varchar for up to 255, the address varchar, city varchar 200. So how do we create the table? Okay, this will bring us to what's the data types in the SQL. What the data types, which is the domains for the attributes. So we have different types in SQL. We have, for example, numeric. It can be bit, 0, 1, whatever. Tiny integer, really short في C++ for example, أو for short في Java. Small integer, we have integer. This small integer is usual integer. الانتجر, البيج integer اللي هو for example long. الديسيمال اللي هو ايش بيكون with like float or whatever, numeric, float, real and so on. هذول كلهم numeric the types you can specify them في اللي هم عملية when you define attribute في التابل. ممكن يكون في عندنا date. So we have here a data type date and time. So you have attribute of type date, birth, for example, birth date of type date. The time start with type time, date and time, time stamp, year. So all these you can use them as data types. You can use character string, character, which is of type character, var character with different with variable length, var character to max. So var character until maximum 255 or text. Unicode character string اللي هو ايش؟ we have many codes في strings. We have different unicodes. You can for each language, for Arabic, for English, for different languages, different Unicode you can use. You can use binary. The binary variables you can var binary. You can var binary max. You can use image of binary, and you can use different glob, XML, JSON, for example, user defined or user defined variables and data types. So all these data types can be specified for whom? For the table? No, for the attributes of the table, for the columns of the table. So here the syntax for creating table with constraints. Remember, we took a lot of constraints, so we will see what constraints supported or explicitly نقدر نحن نستخدمهم أو نحددهم أو نعملهم إيش؟ نحطهم as conditions when we create the table. So create table 1, column 1 طبعا نختار data type. Then we put the constraint, not null, for example, unique, for example, check, for example, column 2 data type constraint. So let's see how اللي هم الconstraints. في constraints أخذناهم في الشباتر السابقة. For example, not null ensures that إنه هذا الكولوم وهذا الاتريبيوت ما بصير نحط فيه null. Unique it can't be repeated في نفس التابل. Primary key, this means it's a combination of not null and unique. طبعا primary key دائما not null ودائما بيكون ايش unique at the same time. Okay, but we can just make any attribute not null or any attribute unique. But if it's not null and unique, then it's a primary key. A foreign key, it's referencing a primary key in another table. Okay, check ensures that the value هذه should satisfy a condition. And this, if we put constraint check, then we have to put a condition. So you can't put a value without passing this test or this condition. Default means if the user didn't specify the value, then by default you will give it a value. For example, if the user didn't enter his number, so automatically the default will be the next number after the last number in the table. Okay, the index is very important. The index here, if you specify a constraint to be indexed, this means the database management system will build R3 or B3 or B plus 3 indexing على هذا ايش الاتريبيوت. So this means a lot of people will search for this attribute, which is the price. For example, it's index. For everybody looking for price, so we go to the price directly using the index and finding the price we are looking for. Okay. So the index will make اللي هو retrieving the data very quickly when we make any attribute is index. But if you specify it as index, this means you are asking the database management system to make a tree indexing or consisting of these attributes in all your database. Okay, the constraints not null, for example, create table persons, ID integer of type integer and not null. Last name varchar up to max 255 not null. The constraint is data type, the max, will name of the attribute. The first name, the type, the maximum, not null. الايش راح تكون ايش integer. Okay. SQL not null on alter table. Of course, you can modify a constraint after you start your design. Then you decide that you want to alter a table persons. You want to alter this table persons by modifying the age enter to be age not null. So you can alter a table after creating it. So when you create the relation or a table, you can alter the اللي هو constraint to add constraints or to remove constraints on this attributes. Okay. So this is the SQL with اللي هو not null. Drop a table is used to remove a relation اللي هو ايش delete a relation base table اللي هو تعمل delete the table and its definition. The relation can be no longer be used in equality. يعني خلاص it will be disappear from your database. You can't update, you can't do anything to this table because easily it will not exist anymore. For example, drop table dependent. So dependent will be disappeared. Okay. So this drop or means delete the table dependent, it will not exist anymore. But when you delete the dependent, if you have any other tables referencing this table, then other cascading or set null or things should happen. Okay. So let's stop here on alter tables and we continue in the next meeting inshallah. Okay. We just start this introduction and we have to continue in next classes ان شاء الله. يعطيكم العافيه، السلام عليكم.